Hi everyone, Ray from Pro String with another racket restringing tutorial. Today's a very interesting racket to say the least. It's a Victor, it's made by Victor, the brand, V-I-C-T-O-R. However, this model is called Hello Kitty. It's obviously a special edition. Here you go, it says Victor here. It's Hello Kitty, have a what? Have a super great day. There you go. Okay, well, we're gonna do our thing as usual. 13 and a half, 13 and a quarter even. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and a little bit. Because I always have plenty left over, but just to be safe, I'd rather be safe rather than sorry. Guys, always starting from the bottom on a badminton racket. Unlike tennis and squash, they can vary depending on their stringing patterns or neck or throat of rackets. Squash always starting from the bottom. If it doesn't have a throat, like 95% of them don't. Right, we've got one string to each side already. Our first two mains. It's 11 mains to each side. 11 minus 1 is 10. We need to count 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This racket was in pink. The last stringer to do this racket did a pretty horrendous job. I did ask the client where they got it done. And it turns out it was in Hong Kong, interestingly enough. So they also string badly, not just in London, some stringers, but also in Hong Kong. Right, guys, tension on this one's going to be 26 pounds of tension. I just need to keep an ear or eye out on the door downstairs. You can hear my son gaming on his iPad, so hopefully that doesn't affect our audio. Not entirely sure why it needs to be so loud. It's obviously not bothering anyone, that's why he's just in his own world. Just picked him up from nursery / kindergarten, I guess you could say, depending where you're tuning in from or what kind of English you've learned. Kindergarten being American, nursery the equivalent of kindergarten in the UK is nursery, at least the word in itself. Right, guys, always stringing symmetrically, 3 strings to each side. String has slipped in the tension head. Definitely feeling tired today. 5 hours sleep, 4 hours 59 to be exact. Felt okay this morning. To say the kids did wake me up an hour earlier than I would have got up with my alarm. 3 to each side, guys. We've already done that. Now 3 to 6. Today's Monday, the 25th of March, 2024. We'd typically be coaching on a Monday, but I had to cancel today. Other family commitments while my wife has to go out for a business dinner. And I will be in charge of the 3 rascals. My 8-year-old, 4-year-old, and 1-year-old. I guess it's my turn to do dinner. Bath time, story time, times 3. Oh yeah. Gotta say, probably one of the biggest challenges in my life has been having kids. So if you're someone that's listening to this video, stick to 2. 2 is cool. 1's easy. 2 is cool. 3 is tough. I won't go into detail. Oh God. Anyway, fifth main string. And 6th again. Already on our 6th to each side. And then we go to 9. 6 to 9. And it doesn't matter which side. Oh, careful sometimes. This tension head, I would say, doesn't appreciate all that much badminton strings. It does normally. I mean, I just did a racket before this one and it didn't happen one single time. Alright, we've got some decent coverage there by our loop. So you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a cross string or last cross string at the top, which is completely pretty much covered by the string we just pulled, by the main. So that's what the little plastic tennis string, effectively tennis string that I've added there as my little stringing aids, you'd call them. They do make a difference, I have to say. Doesn't solve it always, but that's 9, guys. Now we have to jump sides, jump over to the other side. As you've seen, there's the stringing aid. We've got another blockage there by our loop of our main. When I say loop, is when it loops around the frame, I guess, from one grommet to the other, from one main to the other. You always have that every single. You've got to wrap the string around something, right? So it's going around the frame on the outside part. Make sure your grommets are in good conditions, guys. Don't string rackets in poor conditions. Grommet wise, doesn't work. May not break when you're stringing, but it could cause very quick break to the client when they're playing, even if you've done a perfect job. Small detail to keep an eye on, because if not, they will be running back to you. I can guarantee it. For the sake of a few pounds, euros, dollars, you name it. Say to the client, hey, you've got a few broken grommets. That's the last one I just did before this one. A few broken grommets that I advised. Well, I didn't even advise them at this point. I just did it myself. And if they want to say something, I'm happy for them to say something. It's 50p each. For the sake of £1, I saved myself a massive headache afterwards if it were to break quicker than normal. Everyone's normal is very different, of course. But yeah, that's what we're trying to avoid, though, is having that confrontation with the client. I always avoid all... Sorry there, guys, just... Everything seems to be under control. Looks like my wife opened the door. I feel like sometimes I let you guys into my life instead of just talking about stringing them. You guys probably all know more about me than I know about myself, maybe. Up late stringing. What time my kids come home? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tying our knot on our 8th. I don't know. It seems that these rackets have been badly butchered, I have to say. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like they've tied knots. You can tell where knots have been tied because the grommets are normally enlarged. I've definitely used a lot on this and don't like having so much string left over after my first knot. I'm sure I'll be completely fine, but you need to be careful with that too, guys. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good way to check your work, especially on that first weave. Make sure it sets the pace correctly. No double overs, no double unders. What you can do to avoid that is check your work. Make sure that is always opposite. If you started under, it should finish over, like it has in my case. And so on and so on. Okay. Let's see, how about this side? Is it gonna cause me some grief? Nope. Again, guys, under, over, and just make sure that, you know, the strings are opposite. Check your work. If you're less experienced, always happens. Always happens. Find yourself 30 minutes later going back on yourself, taking the strings out to fix your mistake. Keep an eye on that one. Very common. Very common. Of course, it'll be less and less common once you gain more and more experience. But from time to time, it happens to me as well. I catch it very quickly, but yeah. "11 minutes in and we've already started our crosses. Good time again. Not that I'm trying to rush it, I'm not trying to impress you guys. I am just stringing at my normal kind of default rate. If anything, maybe a tad smaller because I don't shut up. Just keep talking, whether it's about stringing or not, I don't know. Another shared hole, guys. That's gone through really nicely for me. Shared holes can be a nightmare sometimes, especially with the thicker strings, like Yonex BG65. It's only a little bit thicker. Again, we're using Yonex BG80, guys, in case I haven't mentioned that. Gotta say, the case it comes with as well, very Hello Kitty. I would have never thought I'd be stringing a badminton string Hello Kitty. But then saying that, I strung a Minions adult racket the other day. Literally full size, fully grown man dropped off a Minions Wilson Clash. In fact, yeah. What have I got going down here? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 3, 7. With the ones I picked up today. Around 13 rackets waiting for our attention. 13 plus Vincent's 14. Oh. And I bet there's more. I'm not counting. I actually need to know. 14, that one's been done. 14, 15, 16, 17 rackets waiting, guys. 17. The pile seems to be growing as we go down. It keeps going back up. That's all right. That's okay. Always stringing one ahead, guys, makes your weave, the next weave, always easier. If you're not sure what I mean is, instead of just pulling this string that I've weaved, I'm always going to weave another one in front. Why? Because it makes it much easier. I wouldn't even attempt to show you guys how a hard weave looks like. It's just slower, it takes more time, and it's just more annoying. If you have the choice to have an easier route, why not use it? Unless you like a good challenge every time, well then, and destroying your fingers a bit more than you already probably are, then yeah, by all means, weave and pull, weave and pull. If not, take my two words of advice. Just a little bit of string counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shared hole 9, 10 shared hole. Skip 1, 11th main. Same thing on the other side. The top is very different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, skip 1, 7, skip 1, 8, skip 1, 9, skip 1, 10, skip 1. So we're skipping 1 every single hole from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, from the sixth main string, vertical string. $4.19, rounded off. $4.20, one of my favorite numbers. I won't go into what that means. 4:20 p.m. London, UK time. Yeah, 4:20. What can I say? We're coming up to 4:20 soon, April 4:20. Like I said, I'm not going to go into detail. If you know, you just know. That's why I look so young. Despite, I know you guys can't see my face, and we're going to keep it that way. There are some videos around there, the grommet changing. If you want to know what I look like, if you want to get scared, if you want to lose some sleep, go on to some of my grommet changing tutorials, and you may just see my scary face. Anyway, we're getting through this quicker than I thought. My tiredness, my mental tiredness isn't showing all that much, I guess. If I'm tired now, what am I going to feel like when I have the 3 kids running and screaming and... Oh. I do tend to have less patience when I am tired as well, so wish them luck. I won't need any, they might. Alright guys, here we go. Another shared hole. Come on, just go through. There you go. That's what I like. String just listens to me sometimes. Alright, but I feel that I'll probably have to cut myself a nice sharp end any moment. Got away with it. Oh, there you go. Got away with it again. So I can string a good badminton racket, I like to think. Lots of repeat business. Now, I don't know any badminton players, which is shame on me, I have to say. So I'm using my all guys because I need to push down ever so slightly the main string covering the cross hole, which was super blocked. The higher the tension, the harder it is. I don't know, maybe I'll try from this side for you guys to see. You won't be able to see it anyway because of the fixtures in the way. But all I'm doing is ever so slightly pulling down. There you go, and through it is. Pulling down the loop of the main / vertical string. Stringing on the Wilson Bayardo, if you guys haven't noticed and are wondering. Wilson Bayardo Original. There are 2 versions now of the Wilson Bayardo. You got the Wilson Bayardo Original, or just the Wilson Bayardo just as in itself. And then you've got the Wilson Bayardo Light, which I also have just behind the tripod. You can almost touch it with my hand from where I'm standing behind this machine. If you just use my lock, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'll show you. See, well, it would have been absolutely fine with that lock anyway. It wouldn't have been touching. Just my quick reflex, I guess, of thinking a step ahead, knowing the angle the rackets are, the strings are being pulled in, and where my fixtures are, so on and so on. Let's see, I've got very, very little space here. Definitely need a sharp edge anyway. Oh, feeling it. Come on now. Just gonna push the string a little bit, see if I've got a bit more space here. Always fun. There we go. Just need to push the string down a bit. So the string is just so close. The grommet is almost touching the string, which gives me very little space to go through the grommet. 3 more crosses, guys, and we are done. Apologize for the noise. If you heard my son yelling about probably nothing. He's at that age, 4 now, and just he forgets sometimes that talking isn't yelling. He gets excited about everything. So he's yelling a lot, screaming in excitement. But it goes very rapidly. It goes from excitement to tears. Poor kid doesn't understand a lot of the times what it is. He's a very dramatic 4-year-old boy. Indeed. Super bright though, I have to say. Gotta give him credit where credit due. All right. Just thinking one step ahead again. I hope I have enough space for my clamp. I think so. Sometimes there's certain rackets, guys, that may not allow you to clamp at the top. And you might not have, just doesn't matter what you do. When there's no space for clamping, there's no space. Happened to me a few days ago with a Yonex, I think it's the Yonex 88D Tour. I can't remember. I'm sure it's on a video there somewhere. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Completely fine. Maybe I'm just a bit scarred by it. Back in the day, broke enough strings trying to fit clamps where they probably just don't fit. So we're good here. The clamp doesn't fit, guys. Right, so a lot of times you might not have space for the clamp. As you see, it's quite tight already, but there was plenty of space within reason. So what you do is you come your third last one, you do your last one, and you come back down and you do your second last one. So this one here in the middle of these 3 I cover. So you're gonna go to your last, then come back through and second last, and you need to do a double pull. Never do double pulls unless in this situation on a badminton racket, or I don't know how you would get yourself into another situation similar, but don't, try not to. So you'll have to, the only time to make this as clear as possible, you need to copy the pattern on this 3rd string. So it needs to be the same. If this is under, over, this 3rd one needs to be exactly the same. Yeah. That way, this middle one comes along, and then you unmatch to the top and the bottom one. Yeah, your 1st and 3rd cross string, and then because you might be weaving and think, oh, well, that looks the same. It should look the same. The 3rd and the 1st should have the same weaves. So the same over, the same under. And then this last one here comes along and unmatches both and puts you back right back in the right place. I don't know if that made sense. I tried my best, as always. If I'm unclear, give me a call. Find my number on my website. No, just leave a comment. Don't do that. Right. These are another one for the books, for the YouTube book of everything. Book of life. Right, don't pull your knot too tight, guys. Don't risk breaking anything whilst you've already finished, hopefully. There you have it, guys. There you have it. Take off our stringing aids. I'm gonna join my family downstairs. I need to shortly go pick up my daughter anyway. 15 minutes. I could do a squash racket in 15 minutes, but I actually need to sit down and have a drink. Soda, juice, or water, not alcoholic. In case you guys are starting to think I'm an alcoholic. I hadn't had a beer in a very long time. I had a beer on the weekend. And I think I strung a racket afterwards, which was completely fine. Don't know if I talked more nonsense than normal. Probably difficult, but hey. 26 pounds of tension with the Yonex BG80. There you go, guys. Oh, just to confirm, this is the Victor Hello Kitty. That's all I can tell you. They must have, I'm guessing it's another Victor racket and they just redid the paint job, etc. Marketing. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope there was some knowledge there for you to take away. Until the next racket, happy stringing. Take care, guys. Much love. Bye-bye.